The rules of obstruction in baseball are probably the most misunderstood baseball rules. See one of the worst umpire calls involving obstruction, coming up next. Coming up, we'll watch one of the worst cases of umpire misunderstanding of the rule of obstruction that I've seen in some time. And you gotta see the coach's reaction. Obstruction is any time a fielder obstructs the runner. To help you distinguish between obstruction and interference, just remember this. If the fielder is at fault, it's obstruction. If the runner is at fault, it's interference. There are two types of obstruction in baseball. The first type is type A, or sometimes referred to as type 1. This is any time obstruction occurs on a runner on whom a play is being made. So in this case, the catcher, without possession of the ball, obstructs the runner. This is type A obstruction, and in this case, time is called immediately, and the runner is awarded, at minimum, the base after the last base he legally reached. So for example, in this situation, where a runner in a rundown is obstructed, even though at the time he was heading back to third, he is awarded home, as this umpire indicates, immediately. Type B, or type 2 obstruction, is much more fluid and is what we're dealing with in this video. It's where umpires and coaches often make mistakes. Type B obstruction is any time a runner is obstructed by a fielder when a play is not being made on that runner. In this case, the umpire should signal obstruction, and the runner is awarded the base the umpire feels in his judgment the runner could have reasonably reached if the obstruction did not occur. The umpire's judgment in this case can drive a coach insane. Whatever he says is going to go, even if that umpire doesn't understand the rule, which, unfortunately, is very often the case.
Hey! Whoa, 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 whoa! Obstruction! Hey! Whoa! Can I get time? Did you see the obstruction? It was obvious.
Look at the first baseman's dirty because he ran into him.
I mean, he was laying down.
That's why I sent him.
Well, the player was making a play on the ball. It was incidental contact.
There's no play on the ball. Plus, it was
Out at second, one out. Let's go.
Hey, no worries. You did exactly.
Listen, keep it down a little bit.
That's why I never said.
In this situation, this runner is clearly obstructed. It's a textbook example. Would he have made it to second safely if not obstructed? Probably. Well, that's all you need as an umpire. Probably. Then he is awarded that base safely. That was your judgment. What happens a lot in this situation, as a base coach, I don't know if the umpire saw it. And if he didn't see it, then it didn't happen. So I always bring the runner back. By rule, if the umpire did see it, and in his judgment the runner may have reached the next base safely, he should be awarded that base. But over and over again, the umpires will tell me, if the runner had attempted to go to second, he would have protected him there. But since he returned to first, that's where he's going to stay. So you see the dilemma. But I'd rather have a runner safe at first than out at second. This situation, I finally sent him as it was so blatantly obvious and right in front of the umpire. And guess what? He got called out because the umpire didn't understand the rule, just proving my point in youth baseball as a coach. Better safe than sorry. Now let's get to our main video clip. I'll play it with a commentator discussion and then explain a little more what is happening. And stick around for the coach's reaction. It's priceless.
Bouncing ball, sneaks under the glove of the third baseman, and the bases are loaded.
3 in a row,
including 2 straight pinch hits. So the subs, the reserves, delivering here in clutch time in the 4th inning for Connecticut. And he has been awarded home plate. Nick Maynard just was awarded home, and now the third base umpire, Bill Bailey, is going to get a visit from Coach Costello.
But he has to make an attempt to. I would appeal it because he has to make an attempt to go home. But I don't know. Maybe not.
It is. It's the go-ahead run.
Let's take a look at it again here. It's a base hit. Yeah, right there. It gets in his way. So under the discretion of the umpire, he can view that as not giving him the right of way and being able to score. This is right there. But it's too bad because there's no way he was scoring.
No.
so there is clear type B obstruction, but the runner made it safely to the base he would have reached anyway. The umpire here should have done nothing. Once a runner in type B obstruction reaches the base he'd likely make it to safely, you ignore the obstruction. But this umpire didn't. He sent the runner home, where there is zero chance he would have gone even without the obstruction. Since this is a judgment call, and the rules in baseball are clear that one umpire cannot overturn another umpire's judgment call, we are left with everyone else on the field knowing it was wrong, but not being able to change it. Apparently, even the umpire-in-chief or tournament director brought that umpire in and asked him if he knows that he didn't have to award home. The call ended up standing, and after 6 minutes, we learned that on the next hit, that runner would have scored anyway. The coach's reaction is really admirable. This is an elimination game, and that run gave the opposing team the lead. He then changes pitchers, and after that pitcher throws just 5 pitches, he visits the mound again. This is the 4th visit in 6 pitches, in an attempt to keep his team positive and focused. Listen to his admission here.
I'm like so fired up right now, it's hilarious. Mr. Wales is so fired up too, all right? All right, hey, do this, all right? You've been in bigger moments than this, kid, all right? Do your job.
And that's coming from a former professional pitcher telling him that. Coach spent a couple of years in the Dodgers minor league system. He knows what he's talking about when he comes out to the mound.
That's great coaching. He's admitting to his players that he and the other coaches are livid with the situation, but he's smiling and also laughing it off. He doesn't pretend it doesn't bother him. He's empathizing with how he knows his players feel, and this, by the way, wasn't the only issue in this game with officiating. He also demonstrates for them the best way to deal with the negative feelings about the situation. They need to perform, and being angry and bitter will not help them out. This other video here is very similar with a coach reaction to a horrible call. Comments on that video claim that the coach wouldn't be so calm if the score wasn't lopsided. Check it out, and remember, this coach here stayed calm in this situation. So maybe, just maybe, being a great youth coach is more about teaching kids life lessons than just the score.
Get the call right. Now they're going to say he was safe. That was a mistake, and it happens.
Hey, what are we going to do? What are we going to do, right? There's nothing we can do. What did we talk about this whole time, right? We move on to the next thing, right? Hey, there's nothing you can do but make the next play. Way to make that play. Way to be heady on that one, all right? Hey, we know what we got. Let's go get 4 outs this inning. All right, let's go to work.